Hey, speaking of somebody who does not have off nights, BYU freshman tight end Matt Bushman joining us here in Studio B. Welcome to the studio again. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on being named a freshman All-American. What was it like to get that news?
I mean, it was awesome to get the vote or the award. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect first year, so it's cool to be a freshman All-American. I'm excited to see what happens next year.
How do you find out about that, by the way? How are you notified? Do they call you? Do you get an email? Does it go through the sports information department? Like, how do you even find out that you won this award?
Okay, so kind of a funny story. 2 nights ago, I was just getting ready to go to bed, and my roommate looked at the ESPN freshman All-American poll.
Right.
And he was like, "Bro, some guy from Washington, like, he was nominated freshman All-American." I was like, "Oh, what the heck?" Like, I was just a little surprised because he didn't have like the same stats.
Because he sucked.
He had
I'll say it for him.
he had some less catches, less yards. So I was kind of shocked that he got it. Maybe just because he's from a Power 5 school, they had more success. Yeah. So that night I was just like, dang, that's kind of weird. Like, I wasn't mad. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just have to work hard in the off season, kind of prove next year, just try to do better. And then I was in class yesterday, and my buddy that's at the University of Florida texted me. He's like, "Hey man, congrats on the award." I was like, "What the heck are you talking about?" Like, he's like, "Oh yeah, I just saw on Twitter." I was like, "Oh dang, I guess I'll have to download Twitter and see what it said." So
Wait a minute, you don't have Twitter? I know you have a Twitter account, but you don't even have the Twitter app on your phone?
During the season, I deleted it. Just there's a little bit of negativity.
Okay.
So I just stopped looking at it, but I have it again.
Yeah, man. You gotta do that.
You got limit the distractions. I get it. I
had that issue when I was playing. Like Twitter just was getting big, but I think Bronco we couldn't have Facebook. Like you couldn't have it. You get in trouble. Yeah, if they caught you. Yeah, weird stuff.
That was before Pinterest. So you really had nowhere to go.
No, I didn't. I was in my good resting place. Anyway, so last year you told, or beginning of this year, you told Jeremy Spencer, your goal was to catch 5, balls a game. With you now being an All-American, right, and kind of having, I don't want to say pressure or whatnot, but the bar is high, right? What are some of your goals heading into spring and then heading into fall?
Well, I mean, going into spring, like many of you guys know, it's just we don't know what type of offense we're going to have. So going into spring, once the offensive coordinator is hired, I mean, I just want to focus and learn the offense, get that memorized, and watch film. I mean, watching film is really important right now. Since we don't have maybe that offense to learn, just going back and seeing the mistakes that I made and what I can improve on.
So watching you obviously, and just your size and your build and how fast you are. We talk about this all the time. Like this kid could probably gain like 20 more pounds. Do you have any goals or aspirations to get bigger?
Yeah, definitely.
So with that, I mean, do you have or have you talked to the strength and conditioning coaches about keeping speed and keeping agility while gaining weight, like a target weight?
Right. Well, I definitely want to. Keep my speed. I don't want to lose. I think that's one of my strengths right now. But I don't want to gain weight too fast this off season. Sometimes that guys are pressured into gaining 15, 20 pounds, and then they lose their speed or they are injured because their body's not used to it. So I'm just going to take it slow. My main goal is just to get stronger. I took some hits this past season, so I just want to get my shoulders stronger so I can take those hits. And I think it'd be nice to weigh around 240 next season. Not gain too much, but still be a little bit heavier.
Smart man. And the shoulder, man, I still got an injury from Florida State, and when I put my suits on or whatever, I lean like this a little bit. So yeah, protect them shoulders for sure.
Yep.
BYU obviously has a very proud tradition of tight end play. And I know that you've had an opportunity to talk with a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Is there one BYU tight end that you look up to maybe more than any other, or somebody that you've been able to get a close relationship with at all?
Well, during the season, I was fortunate enough to be able to talk with Dennis Pitta, just on the phone, just have a phone call with him. And we talked for about an hour and just talked about the season. He told me some things I could work on. He gave me some small tips where just with route running, bursting out of my breaks and stuff like that were really helpful, and I was able to work on that during the remainder of the season. But also Chad Lewis, he So I'm dating his daughter, Emily Lewis. So that's kind of a connection that I've.
We wondered if you were gonna go there.
It's a connection that I've had. But even before we started dating, he would watch film with me of the spring game and give me tips.
Oh, cool.
So now that I'm around him more, he gives me more tips. We watch film during the season, and that was also really helpful.
Do you feel like you have more pressure, like, and I'm not trying to go there like you guys are going to get married or anything. I'm just saying, like, do you think there's more pressure since you've been dating his daughter?
Pressure in what kind of way?
Pressure on the field, right? Because, you know, when you have that relationship with former players, you know, it's cool, it's one thing. But when you really have that personal relationship, like film, and you're actually getting mentored and things like that, you know, there's more expectations there, right? And so I just wanted to see how that dynamic with the, you know, your girlfriend, his daughter, and, you know, him being a mentor to you. Like, dude, you didn't catch that ball. Like, you can't come over tonight to see my daughter.
Not quite like that, but there were times where, I don't know, there'd be an interception, and you see that I was not trying to take the right pursuit angle. And he's like, okay, if you make it to the next level, there's going to be people looking at that film, seeing, okay, wow, you were jogging, you didn't take an angle, try to make a tackle, try to save the pick six. So there's just things like that where I just remember, like, okay, dang, if there was an interception, I'd try to sprint my butt off and try to make the tackle. Or if I kind of looked like I took a play off, I'd remember, like, okay, he told me to go hard every time. So there's just like that kind of pressure.
Nice.
So as you mentioned right now, without having an offensive coordinator, there's nothing specifically that you can work on in terms of the offense. But what do the next, you know, couple of weeks, month or so look like for you in terms of your off season and what you're hoping to get done?
Well, we're just going to be in the weight room. I mean, right now it's like optional lifting, kind of come in when we can, when we're not studying for finals.
That's really not.
Yeah, is that optional, but you better be there, or optional?
Yes.
It's optional there. We're expected to be there. Because they're going to be hard on us in January. We're going to have hard winter workouts because of the way the season panned out. So we have to get our bodies right. In Arizona, I have a friend that's at the University of Florida, so we're going to be having a lifting and running program. Nice. And yeah, I'm definitely just going to run some routes also. I have some buddies, so we're going to just work on my routes and just keep trying to get better.
What about baseball, man? Have you talked to Coach Littlewood about that?
I did talk to Coach Littlewood. I'm still making my decision. So during the season, I tore my thumb a little bit. I just tore a tendon. And we just have to see. I've been in this brace for like 5 weeks. And after on this next week, I'll have to see if it's torn or not.
Are you right-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Oh, I was going to say, you didn't have to do homework. Well, I guess you could type.
Still have to do the homework. But, yeah, I'll have to see if the tendon's reattached or if it's still torn. And then that will depend if I get surgery or not. So that will still be a setback. And with everything, the new offensive coordinator coming in, with that pressure of learning the offense and just new things, I'm just going to keep trying to figure out what's best for me, see what will be best for me to reach my potential.
Do you look at it as more of a positive or a negative that if you play baseball that you'll have to hang around with me just a little bit more?
I won't answer that question. No, I'm just kidding.
No comment.
No, it's always fun seeing you in the dugout.
That's a nice comeback, though. That was a nice comeback, though. I appreciate it.
It's always nice having you in there.
Thank you very much. All right, BYU freshman tight end Matt Bushman, great stuff. Thanks for coming in, and congratulations once again on the All-American honor. That's really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.